What we have here is a Sony Handycam. Handycam. It's an inside joke. CCD-TR33. This is an 8mm camera. Dates back to about somewhere in the mid-90s. In fact, I believe Friends was a #1 TV show when this camera was manufactured. So, what can I tell you about it? Well, really not much. I just picked it up out of the trash, of course. Where else would I get it? And amazingly enough, I just gave it a quick test, and it works. And it works pretty well. There's nothing wrong with it at all. I'll show you the transport mechanism. This tape was in it. It's got footage. I believe the footage on this tape dates back to roughly probably 2002 or 3. So it's been a while since it was used. But it's all bright and shiny in there, ready to be put back to work. Unfortunately, it missed the boat. It's obsolete. Completely obsolete. In fact, these 8mm cameras were replaced by, I believe, High 8, Mini DV, hard drive cameras, high definition cameras, and now most people just use cell phones. So it missed the party. Sorry, guy, but you're worthless now. No, sadly, these old cameras are completely, they're almost completely worthless. You can't really sell them anymore because nobody would buy it. This one right here, this 1987 Sylvania is, well, it missed the party 5 decades ago. I mean, it's all kinds of obsolete. But I digress. For what it was, you know, the Sony Handycam line was pretty much the best you could buy. Well, if you asked any electronics salesman at Service Merchandise, Sears, or hell, even Best Buy. You know, the Sony cameras were pretty much, they had a lot of snob appeal. They really did. Everyone knows what a Sony Handycam is, or a camcorder. Everybody knows their product line, so they were an easy sell, but they were a little pricey compared to your off-brand cameras like LXI, which was a Sears brand, Sylvania, like that one, which wasn't really used very much in the 90s for electronics, but in the 80s they were tops. Yeah. But you also had your Magnavoxes, your Hitachis. Let me think of any others that pop into my mind. But anyway, between JVC and Sony, I think Sony sold better. But I'm just pulling that out of the air, so I don't know whether that's factual or not. But this camera is pretty well feature packed. It has preset program functions. Let's take a look at what they are. I did play the tape, and it has footage that I cannot use. It's not anything racy. I cannot use it for reasons I don't need to explain. There are people out there that get old cameras either on eBay or Craigslist or whatever, and they upload the footage. I think that's really tacky. You know, I don't do that. But I know people that do, and it upsets me when they do it. But each his own. So we're going to have to switch it over to camera mode, which opens up the lens cap automatically. This does have autofocus, of course, naturally, why wouldn't it? And we're now we're looking at a shot of the counter. Now this has a color LCD viewfinder, which was a vast improvement over some of the earlier ones that used picture tubes. That Sylvania, for example, uses a black and white micro picture tube. This one, you know, it might be a picture tube, but I can't really tell. You know, early LCDs didn't have very good image quality. it could be one or the other. Generally, when it was an LCD, it would advertise it somewhere on the camera. But okay, let's take a look at the menu. Actually, let's look at the programs. Let's see, we have, try to press the damn button here. Okay, we have Twilight. Let me try to do both at the same time here. This is no effect. This is portrait. Action, sports, action. This is, I see a guy running, but it's in black and white, so I'm not really sure what to make of it. I can't really tell what that pictogram is. Can you? And then we have Twilight. And we have, again, no program. Okay, so we also have some menu. See, we have clock set, date. I'll just scroll through that menu. I can't really read it on the camera. It's not working out for me so well. Let me try to refocus this. It's not really doing it. The camera's auto-focusing on its own. Let's see here. Yeah, clock set, commander. I don't know what commander is. Let's see what that does. Commander on or off. But anyway. So yeah. I don't see a lot of functions there. I don't see the I'm looking for the button that tells me whether I want the whatchamajigger. Oh, that's cool. This camera will actually if you press the edit search button while you're in camera mode, it will actually play back what's on the tape at the time. Oh yes, and under this cover are all the VCR functions. Play, stop, rewind, fast forward, pause. There's a headphone jack here, convenient. I just used it, it does work. Lang, I don't know what that's for yet. I'm going to have to look that up. And we have our microphone connector here, and under this door we have our AV out. And no, anyway, let's try to. Let's see here. All right. This actually has some sporting events recorded. I believe it's like a municipal recreation department was using this camera for their sporting events. And that's what's on it. But I can't show that to you because that could, that's just kind of creepy. Backlight. I believe that's white balance. And it only has two functions, on or off. Date and time. Of course. That's how you display it. I see. Okay. Well, so I think I figured all that stuff out. Sadly, I don't have a battery for this, but that's okay, because if I did, it would be dead anyway, so there's no point in crying over spilled milk. Alright, so I'm going to do some test recording with it, and then we'll play it back on the TV. Oh, and before we begin, the viewfinder can be opened up by opening up this lens cap, or body, and you can see the display right in there. Although it's behind a lens, I can't see what type of display it is, but I'm starting to think that it might be a small color CRT, the smallest in the world, potentially. All right, what's this? Oh, that just opens up for the, okay. That's how you get the tape out. I thought I saw another door. I'm like, wow, there's more doors. I know you can't see it. It's really dark, but the camera's right there. Alright, so let's hit play. Let's see how we did. Okay, we are now recording on the Sony CCD-TR33. So actually not bad. Just kind of pan around the room here. It's clear for a camera from the 90s. Colors, not too bad. The test recording, I'm starting to really think that this actually has a CRT viewfinder. It definitely... Ooh, I just noticed something, but you'll figure it out in a minute. Kind of, sort of. Anyway, I don't really have much to say. We'll just do some zooming here. Alright, I'm going to go through all the functions and now see what they do. Get up here. Not clean. But anyway, alright, program AE. Now this is portrait mode. You can see how it focused up closer. It focused better close up in portrait mode. I don't know. It's hard to tell what the pictogram is. I can't really tell. Twilight. And no specific function. Now let's see how it does in low light. If you remember from our Sylvania film, the here we go. 87 Sylvania is pretty pitiful in low light conditions. But as you can clearly see, this camera is actually usable. Now I don't have it in low light mode, but I will. All right. Notice those spots right there. Let's go ahead and put it in that function right now. Now this is twilight. Really? This is worse. Alright then. Let's turn that off. That's better. You know what? You know what? Either the CCD has spots in it. I don't know if you guys can see this. But if you see little spots on the image right there. Yep. Right there. Yep. There. And there. They look like stars. It turns out... I'm going to just stop it here now. What I discovered is that the CCD itself actually has defects. They could have been there from the factory, or they could have formed over the march of time. But it threw me off because I thought initially that the viewfinder was a CRT, but when I saw those spots, I mistook them for defects in an LCD. So I think that I may have been right the first time, and that it has a CRT viewfinder. Why does it matter? Well, it doesn't at this point, because we're at the end of our video, and I've shown you yet another classic video camera from the past that apparently has 12x optical zoom. I just noticed that. So, yeah, the cameras are piling up. I have video cameras up the wazoo. These are just two cameras that I used to use to film BBISHOPPCM's world. This was my best. This was a very expensive camera in its day. It features a cold shoe, 120x optical zoom, a beautiful viewfinder with a flip-out LCD display as well. You could use either or both. It featured night vision, so I can shoot in pitch black, and it uses mini DV tapes. This was my favorite camera, but it weighs a lot, which was then replaced with this Sony Handycam. But here we have 3 generations of Handycam right there. Yep, spanning 3 major technology improvements. We have our 8mm, not high 8, but 8mm. High 8 was a high resolution version. We have the mini DV. We then have the digital. Well, this one actually stores on either a memory card or the hard disk drive. And in my hand, we have yet another iteration. We have the successor to the low-end camcorder, the digital still camera with video function that shoots in high definition video quality. So there you go, 3 generations of Handycam. and a cyber shot in my hand. Isn't that cool? You saw it on BBISHOPPCM's World. Check back again for more videos of interesting stuff. And if we wanted to throw another one into the mix, we could throw in the good old-fashioned JVC-built VHS compact. Look at that.